hey, so I should really be studying. But instead, I got this sudden urge to study reality. It's an unusual urge. I get it a lot. It takes over my brain. And then I come up with all these different worlds. And I dive into them, into visualization. But anyways, this video is about the best state of mind to go into a relationship. Um, my opinion, will you agree or not, we will see. But it's always nice to study the experience with other people who are watching, even though you're watching it in the future and I'm in the past. But it's all one, and that's the greatest thing. So my advice is simple, and it's basically very general to life. We're all students. We have this idea of romance, of love, and although most people will admit it or not, most of their life revolves around finding the other, the significant other, the love of their lives. And we've kind of have become obsessed with this notion, this concept of the love of our lives, that person to be with for the rest of our lives. It's everywhere. We're kind of brainwashed about it. People will admit it or not, you know. At the same time, it could be described as fulfillment from somebody else, companionship, somebody to be with you through life. That's ultimately what it really is. Somebody to share life with. Somebody to experience it in depth. Somebody you can grow with. That's ultimately what we do in relationships. We grow or we don't. We just change. Which, it's another form of growing, just slower. And it's a beautiful thing. But we have forgotten the point of it. We're getting caught up in finding the one and finding the person that fits in the mold that we have created in our brains of how somebody should be, or of how the love of our life is supposed to look like. So we overthink these things and we become obsessed with them. And then when we go into relationships, we have this messed up state of mind, that they're supposed to be exactly what we pictured, or at least we're not thinking this consciously, but it's a subconscious thing. We have created expectations around our illusion. We, in a way, have forgotten the power of our visualizations, and we can't fully manifest properly. Ultimately, perhaps this is what we are learning in the school of life. But growing is key. Everybody's obsessed with forever. But forever cannot occur if growing is not even part of the equation. Because people grow apart in each other's unawareness. And then things go to hell. And we wonder why. We wonder why they ended up like that. There was no soul. There was just structures. We didn't put the soul in a part of growing with another person. It was just about getting a family, looking like this, taking pictures for Facebook, for Instagram. Very superficial things. And this is how we live all of our relationships nowadays. It's not just romantic relationships. We have this egotistic way of dealing with our relationships, and strictly in the context of based in fear and power control, more than any type of selfishness. Most of the things that we manifest through our ego are subconscious things. They are old programming that we have adhered to because of society, because of culture. But knowing this is awareness. And with awareness, we could do endless things. We just have to come to terms with our power instead of staying stuck in the identification. Okay, you are a strong being. You can manifest. Now what? Are you going to continue to be amazed by it, or are you going to practice, exercise who you are, and gain strength for your overall being and become the best person you can be? But how do you do this? By growing. For me, the best state of mind to go into a relationship with is with a state of mind of growing. You're with somebody to grow as a person. You're not out there looking for the one. It's a beautiful thing. It is. I am a hopeless romantic, for God's sake. You know, in the past, I've noticed myself on the train looking at a good looking guy and picturing myself with him, married with kids, you know, and it's like, I don't even know him. But these movies are in my head, and I know they're in my head. Because of this, I don't let them take over me when I do meet somebody special. And there's this anxiety within love because we're scared deep inside. But we're all scared. This is how ego is based, on fear, on the power struggle. You want to be able to have a logical explanation for everything. But this ain't Burger King. You're not always going to have it your way. We have to grow with people so we can stay in clarity and we can create heaven with somebody else. Otherwise, you will be on different pages. There's no depth, there's no true connection, and this has nothing to do with romance. This has to do with connection with yourself, with what you have to find within yourself. The answers that you're seeking outside that are all within yourself. It is all the same thing, and it cannot be explained and it cannot be said. That's why it is a secret. I just wrote a mini piece about that a second ago. So I had to fade it in there because, you know, I do that with the words because they're colors, and I go like this and add some white to make it a little bit lighter, and we make it lighter so we could float, and we can float through this experience and change and grow and see how that is innately part of our nature. But the more we resist it, the more we deny it, the more we build these egos around everything, and we don't just accept and love unconditionally and love without fear. Know that if you lose, it doesn't make you a bad person. If you make a mistake, it doesn't make you a bad person. You are great no matter what, and you deserve growth, especially when you're going to share your life with somebody. Especially. Perhaps people have, I don't know. Let me just not even imagine that because I can't even imagine it. To me, growth is just part of everything, my walk in life, of everything. If you're going to spend so much time of your life with somebody, you're going to definitely want to grow with them and learn together. You're like two flowers growing together and you become like this stronger tree thing or something. You get what I'm saying. But that is all. And I hope I could reach into your heart and we can connect, because it's ultimately what I want for everyone. For all of us to be able to meet in that place where we are growing, where it's more about growth than grasping onto an idea.